Dun, 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 dun. Gosh, the background music's like kind of chill, but intense at the same time. It's kind of neat. Jesus. Wait, what? Your shoes, I wanted them. Alright, let's see. So I don't keep any of the gold. So I can go into the dungeon with that. Alright. Got an offense one. I don't have a defense one. Oh no, they're immune to my elements. At least one of them, which is base attack. This game is really difficult, but it's kind of like the dungeon game I played, Moonlighter, but it is a lot more punishing. Oh, god damn it. That ain't worth shit. Holy shit. Whew. Wait, what? God, the wind up for that spell. Got him. Dark Katana. Wait, was that a cursed item? God, I hope it wasn't. So the quick black guys, I need to just use basic arts on, because everything else, the build-up's too long and they're too fast. Alright. Damn it. I am not finding any, like, regular chests. Thank God this guy sells health potions. Don't I need like 75 to buy better armor and cloaks and shit? I think I do. Cursed items. Boop-a-doop. Not the red one. Not the blue one either. Green one. There you are. One sec, let me adjust my mic. Alright. Playing that wizard game, it's really fun. Uh, I said I was playing that wizard game and it's really fun.
Oh, okay.
Yay! I just cleared another stage.
Yeah, so, apparently, yesterday, like, I knew this, they made a new schedule and everything, but apparently
Yeah?
it fucking started today, which is stupid as fuck.
I was wondering
Because
why you weren't on.
the first day of the week for our work week is fucking tomorrow. So they just were like, we're gonna go ahead and start the schedule now for no fucking reason. So yeah, I got a call and they were like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, what do you mean, where am I? I'm at home. You're like, scheduled for today. I'm like, but I thought the schedule didn't start till fucking next week, or still till tomorrow, and they're just like, nope. Okay.
So they basically were they mad at you? Or did you go in, or...
I came in and they were just like, hey. I'm like, hey. Apparently I wasn't the only one.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I doubt you were the only one if they just randomly changed the day.
Well, no, they just, apparently they sent out a message right before they sent out the new schedule saying, by the way, the schedule starts tomorrow. And it's just like, why would you start it the day before?
On a different day than it usually is.
It's like, why would you do that? Like, we have semester schedules, so even changing, like, the schedule at all is something.
Mm-hmm.
So going ahead and changing it on a day that the week doesn't start on is even a little fucking weird. But anyway. Yeah, so I have new days off. It's Friday and Monday. And my new days off.
Friday and Monday? Well, Monday I have off, and Friday I'll be on in the evenings. So that's not too terrible.
That's pretty good. Also, our regional manager came in and did a bunch of cleaning house on our computer system. So,
Oh, really?
assuming it's the same way at your job, where like people have to be given the permission to be able to do certain things on like, the computer
it's so stupid.
or register. No. It's good because
so
it keeps.
Stupid.
It's good because it keeps people you don't want in the register out of the register. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like even like to even void shit, you have to have a special permission for it and all sort of stuff. Well, a lot of people had permissions to count drawers, void items, like do a bunch of shit. And the regional manager came in and went, why the fuck can all these people do all of this stuff? And cleaned out all of everyone's permissions except for 3 people.
Oh?
Yeah. So only 3 people now are able to do all the shit that everyone else could have at this point. So that's going to create a little bit of tension between everybody. Like, it's the managers, and then those 3 people are able to do all this shit.
You're not one of the 3 people, I'm assuming?
I am one of the 3 people.
Oh my god. Yes! I was like, please tell me you are. But the way you were talking and the tone of voice, I was like, are you not allowed? Oh,
no,
so did he tell you why you are allowed?
I sat down with the GM at one point because I had broken down 2 of the registers with him and I wanted to see what the total was. And he was like, oh, we're $20 over, expect to be, you know, whatever at that point. But still, I asked him about what was going on, and he just kind of was like, oh yeah, the regional manager came in and they cleared out all of our old employees, and give everyone only 3 people permissions, and I was like, when are you gonna make me basically a shift lead? And he's like, you are one of the 3 people that kept all of your permissions. It's like, oh. And basically he talked to me a little bit, and it turns out that yeah, eventually, like I think either right before he leaves for his general manager training, or right after he comes back, I'm being moved up to what is essentially a shift lead.
So, and with bonus pay?
I don't know if I'll get a bonus pay or not. I do know that if I wind up managing a certain number of shifts a month, I actually get a cut of the manager bonus. So that's pretty good.
Like say, I'm a manager at my store, and if we go over our sales, I get like a couple $100 as a manager benefit.
And that's what I would get if I managed stuff. Also found out that so basically there was, to fill you in on one of the managers, she came in and she
Is
was
this the
talking
power
to
hungry core?
This is the power hungry bitch, yeah. She came in and, you know, she was talking to the other manager. I went to the back to go get, like, I think some fucking napkins. Because we were out of napkins. And she went, shoo, shoo. Manager talks, shoo. And I was like, you don't say that to a person, let alone one of your employees. And I was like, whatever, and I kind of walked away.
Yeah, you can be polite about it. If being a manager doesn't give you permission to just be a perma-dick.
I was like, whatever. I was like, fuck it, whatever. I walked out, and then waited for them to leave the back, and then I ran into the back to grab everything that I needed. But it was like, whatever. And then throughout the shift, that day that she did that, they were getting trained. I already know how to do literally everything that they were getting trained on. So at one point they asked a question and I answered them, and she was just kind of glared at me, and I was like, whatever. And then it kind of came to a point where they had to cut onions. We have a press for it, and she pushed down the press, got it stuck, and she asked me for help. I unstuck it, finished the onion, and then let her have at it. She went to do it again, got it stuck again, and then another guy just came over.
You've got to, like, you literally just give it enough. Okay, maybe.
She's pretty short, so that's the only thing I can give her is that. But still, she got it stuck again, so another guy just came over without her asking, unstuck it, finished that onion, and then did 2 more. And I was like, hey man, let them learn. And she just snapped at me, you're not letting me learn. And I was like, what? I'm standing here doing nothing.
You did 1.
I was like, I finished the one that you asked me to help you on. I was like, whatever. And she's like, you were raising your hand to fix it. And I was like, what? I was like, whatever. And I just went back to doing my job, which, by the way, she was supposed to be helping me making sandwiches that day, and she didn't. So I had to run an entirety of a line by myself, because she just didn't want to help me. Then we started breaking down registers, and I asked, she's the second assistant, I asked the first assistant, technically above her, if she wanted help breaking down one of the drawers. She said, yeah, go ahead. I broke it down perfectly, and lo and behold, the second assistant's drawer was $15 short. And she was screaming about it. She was, like, upset about it, and I was just like, it's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. She's like, did someone bank anybody out on this one? I'm like, maybe. I was like, I think I banked someone out on mine that I broke down. But it was at 10 o'clock this morning, so I don't remember that well. And she's like, this is why managers should only be allowed to touch the money, because people aren't, you know, just, like, going at me about shit. And I was like, I'm trying to help you. She was like, whatever. And I just kind of went, okay, whatever. And she went, try me, bitch. At that point, I was just like,
try me, bitch?
Yeah, and I was like, at that point, I was like, ah, and I just walked away.
I would tell the other managers that shit. That is...
Yeah.
That's a no, dude. That's retaliation to a fucking T. And I told you that, like, if she has multiple accounts for retaliation, you can get her fired for it. You know, the first day where she gave you attitude because they were having a manager meeting and you need to grab shit out of the bag? Dude, this is 2 cases within a few days.
No, that's 2 cases within the same day.
Oh my god, that's all the same fucking day? Dude, she needs to take a fucking chill pill.
Which she did, because then I had another shift that she ran, and she fucking chilled out, asked me for help a bunch of times, and I'm not a petty dick to be like, no, fuck you. So I was like, yeah, this is how you do this thing. You should do this. She was asking me for advice, and I was like, yeah. For the most part, I stayed out of her way and offered her no advice whatsoever, and didn't offer to help any. Like, for the most part of that shift, I didn't offer to do anything extra. I just made sandwiches. But when she asked me like a question, and I knew it would fuck me later, I would help her. Like, no, if I don't actually help her on this, I get fucked in the long run. Okay, fine, I'll tell her what to do here. But past that, I was just like, no. And her shift wound up going to shit pretty quick.
Her shift went to shit?
Yeah, because she didn't prep. Because when she came in, we didn't have enough vegetables. It's like, that's not her fault. But she didn't then immediately make more. She went on about the shift, and it's just like, no. You walk in, and even if someone says vegetables are good, you check it, because you don't trust people. Like, that's just what you do. And then you fucking fix the problem, if there's a problem. And then you write down on a piece of paper that they fucked you. That's what you do. She didn't do that. So the night wound up and we ran out of lettuce. Ran out of cucumbers. It was just like, are you fucking shitting me? So I had to stand there for a solid 20 minutes just waiting for her to slice lettuce, staring at one of the, like, with a customer just staring at me. And I was like, I can't do anything. Don't got any lettuce. It's like... It was just like, what the fuck is going on with your shift? But I know for a fact that she is leaving in December. That's what she's already said. And she's like, I'm moving back with my parents. I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, I just want money so that way I can afford shit when I go down there. And I'm like, good for you.
Why are you being such a bitch?
It's like, whatever at this point. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, then her younger sister today.
Wait, her younger sister works there, or?
Yeah, she works there and is one of her employees on a few of her shifts. And I was like, that needs to change.
That's a no-no. That's conflict of interest.
Yeah, bad.
Bad conflict of interest. Like if she got in trouble on a shift, she could cover for her fucking sister. Mm-hmm. If her sister pulled some shady shit like that is, no.
Yeah, I know. And the GM knows about it, so I think he's trying to fix the schedules around so that way they don't work together. But sometimes we're just short enough on staff that you just can't. I don't know. But anyway, her younger sister was there today, and I was prepping some stuff at like 4 o'clock today, and the manager on the shift, which is the first assistant, someone entirely different, asked me to do something else. And we had a fourth guy, and I was like, hey man, can you I was like, you want something to do? Because he just was standing there, and he was like, yeah. And he came up to me, and the younger sister went, why don't we leave telling people what to do to the manager? And this is after I had found out, by the way, that I was one of the 3 people that kept all the permissions. So basically, I'm like right below manager at this point in the store. Whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, why don't we leave telling people what to do to the manager? And I was just kind of like, and then I was like, I'm literally just asking him to put stickers on these things so I can stretch bread. It's something that the manager told me to do. And the manager backed me on it, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Put her in her place.
So her sister's fucking snooty because her fucking sister's in charge, and the other one's snooty because she's in charge. Literally, fuck the both of them.
Her sister's snooty and was pissed that she got her permissions taken away, even though she's like, I know what I'm doing. It's just like, yeah, your sister taught you a lot of shit, but your sister shouldn't have fucking taught you. Like, she shouldn't know how to do paperwork. She's not a fucking manager. I know how to do paperwork because I was being trained to be a fucking manager in Hayes.
Yeah.
It's just like... Like, there's some shit that she knows how to do that she just honestly shouldn't know how to do. And she was pissy that she lost all of her promotions and doesn't have the weight that she thought she would have. And I think something was going on in her personal life, whatever, but she came after me, and I was just like, listen here, bitch. So later, she asked that same guy, this is where the kicker begins.
Oh, God.
Later,
so this is the light stuff, Jesus.
Yeah, this is where the kicker is for the sister. Then, later in the shift, she asked that same guy to do something for her. So jokingly, I was just like, "Hey, why don't we leave telling people what to do to the manager?" Literally, just threw what she said back in her face. That's it. It was a joke, and it was literally just like, "Ha, you told me to do this earlier. Haha, coming right back at you." And she fucking got super.
Make that joke.
And she got super fucking pissed, and went and just grabbed her sandwich that she had made and just walked to the back. She just stopped. And she's like, "If you're gonna talk to me that way, don't talk to me for the rest of the night." And I was just like,
she did the exact same thing to you, so...
Yeah. Fuck her, basically.
Like...
But, yeah. But guess who fucking wound up having to apologize at the end of it?
Did you have to apologize for that shit?
Yeah, because she walked away and got super pissy, and I didn't want her fucking spending the rest of the shift telling everybody that I'm a piece of shit and think I'm better than everybody. So to fucking avoid that, I apologized to her.
Known.
I apologized to her in front of everybody and said it was just a joke loud enough that everyone could hear. So literally everyone's just like, "Oh, so Josiah made a joke that that this girl took the wrong way." And it was just like, yeah. And
I know
the other
basically trying to cover your ass.
I covered my ass on that one pretty fucking well, I might add, because I even told the manager, I'm like, "This is what happened. This is, I apologize to her just to make sure your shift doesn't go to shit." And she's like, "It's fine, I know how to handle her." I was like, "Okay." But I still apologize.
The fact that you have to have a certain way to handle her should kind of show you how much they don't fucking...
Yeah, it's just like
you want to deal with her at times and shit.
It's like, you're not fucking
That's basically, she's the problem. That's what you tell your problem child employees, which, by the way, we've already fired one of them, and I'm on the way of firing another one if she doesn't get her shit in order, because basically, so we have a similar, like, you know, how, like, the one lady hired her drug dealer, and she wouldn't work worth a shit. Yeah, well, apparently she hired on a like the lesbian coworker, this lover of a girl that had worked for us previously, and like said that we had made her choose between her dying mom and all that stuff. Just to reiterate for context of the stream. Anyway, so that chick, the first time I worked with her, I thought she was a hard worker because she just wanted to move freight, but she was a cashier, but we had another cashier while we were training her, and I'm like, "Sure, you can go ahead and move freight, and it's good for you to learn it." And like, she was just down to do freight. I'm like, "Sweet." Well, then I found out the reason she wants to do freight is so that way she doesn't have to work on the cash register, and then if she works on the cash register, she gets pissy and will take like 50 million smoke breaks, each 10 minutes long. And I'm like, "No, that's not how this works. Smoke breaks are, if there's no customers in the store, you can go outside and smoke, but you're not spending 10 minutes as a dedicated fucking break for that shit. Like, fuck you, you know?" So like, I'd had the talk with her. I'm like, basically, she had lost a customer's orders, because customers can order stuff through the Dollar Tree website, and if they have it, it'll be shipped to our store in the next shipment. So a customer did, so he ordered macaroni and vinegar. He comes in, he's like, "Hey, where's my order?" And I immediately find out that the order that he had, the girl, because there had been a day that girl had like been like, "Hey, I'm gonna move freight." I'm like, "Don't do that. I have to do this shit, and we're doing a deep clean of the store. Freight is secondary and honestly shouldn't be touched today, so don't do it." She ignored me and was moving freight, and then I had to go up to the register to get customers, and I'm like, managers aren't supposed to get customers on register unless it's an emergency or there's too many customers in the store. That is regulation, which is why the third one is always open, but the light's always off just in case. And then if they need to take a break, I'll come up and work while they're doing their break, and if it's busy, I'll come up to help them out. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah, which, by the way, real fast, that's another thing that's different in Jimmy John's, is that there's no dedicated breaks. We don't have, like, this is when you can take a break.
These motherfuckers get 10-minute breaks for fucking working a 4-hour shift. They don't even work 8-hour shifts. And then she decides that she has to take 8 smoke breaks during a 4-hour shift, and I'm like, no, fuck you. She loses the fucking customer's order, and I realized that was the fucking day she went in the back and moved shit without my permission. I wasn't there to supervise her, and I told her not to. So we go to give her a write-up, and like, I told her, I'm like, hey, you gotta go to the office. I'm not gonna write you up for the... I wasn't gonna write her up for the first time. I'm like, I'll give her some leeway. I'll try not to be too aggressive, because I know sometimes when shit bothers me, I get really mad. So I'm like, I'm gonna give myself some time to cool down. And I'm like, I'm gonna try to handle this as professionally as I can. Because I know, like, I get hot-tempered. I never get, like, mad, but I know I get hot-tempered and say shit I don't mean a lot. So I'm like, I gotta take that with a grain of salt. So I go, hey, we just need to go to the office to have a talk. And I just want to talk to you about these things. And it was basically, I wanted to talk to her and let her know, it's like, hey, you're a cashier, you're supposed to work on cash register, you're taking too many smoke breaks. And that day was her birthday, which for like 2 weeks I had been letting her know. I'm like, if you want your birthday off, you need to let them know. You need to let the other manager know so she can schedule it off. She'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. Like, even the day before, I'm like, she can still schedule you off the day before your birthday. Like, that's how fast she can get this shit done. And I'm like, or you can get someone to swap with you. It's that easy. She's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. She said it was fine maybe like 15 fucking times. So I'm like, okay, good. And then, like, on 15 different occasions, like, it had just purled over. So that day was her birthday. She's there for about an hour. She's already trying to get out of her shift. And we had a problem with the first shift I worked with her when I went to cash her out. She was like, I want to get to the bar. I want to get to the bar. I want to get to the bar. Or not the bar. She wanted to go to the liquor store so she could get booze. And I'm like, you have a job to do? And I'm like, you will get out of here at 9:30. The liquor stores close at 10. There's a liquor store a block away. You can be in and out within 5 minutes once you're done. So I said, so calm down and focus. That's literally all I'm asking you to do. Just calm down and work what you were assigned to do. Do the bare minimum is what I'm asking you, and calm the fuck down. And like, I'm not telling her to calm down, I'm just telling her, hey, just chill. Because whenever I repeat back a story, I'm telling you what I'm saying to them in my head. I never say the exact words, and if needed, I'll restate it. But anyway, so that had happened, and then on her birthday, she tried to get out of her shift. She was like, hey, I'll go make sure we can get change. I'll take it to, because it was the weekend, and I couldn't get change from the fucking banks because they were closed on Sunday. So I was like, okay, whatever. No big deal. And then she goes that, and I said, no, you can't handle our store money because you're not a manager. And I said, sorry, but you can't. She gets mad at me, she gets an attitude, she walks away, takes a smoke break. And I go, well, that's kind of fucked, but okay, whatever. I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with her attitude, so I'm not gonna deal with it. So I go on with my day. She literally intentionally spills Vienna sausage sauce on herself while going outside to eat it, which they can eat their stuff in the store. There's like no prejudices against it. So like that was like, she's going outside to do something and she didn't buy that item. So I was concerned. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? She comes back in and she's like, oh, oops, I spilled it. She clears the corner so I can't see her. As soon as she clears the corner, she's holding her phone in one hand, the sausage in the Vienna sausage in the other. And she goes, oh, I spilled my Vienna sausage on myself. I can't continue working this shift. I've got to go home. And I'm like, no. I said, if you need to take care of it, you can go into the restroom and get all that sorted out. And like, get yourself cleaned off. You can borrow some paper towels, whatever you need to do. And I said, but you're not leaving your shift. I said, I have worked shifts spilling stuff on myself. You're gonna work a shift spilling stuff on yourself. It's not a big deal. It shouldn't be an issue, you know. And I could tell she had spilled it on herself on purpose because, you know, if you spilt it down, there would be like a splatter and it would pan both to left and the right. She had took it to both of her legs. It didn't intersect. In the middle of one leg, there was a straight line of juice going down as minimal as possible. In the middle of the other, there was a straight line of juice going down as possible. She stuck it on one leg, let it drain, stuck it on the other leg, and let it drain. She didn't spill it, or it would have had like a splotch mark. It was a straight fucking line. Like, I caught her in her bullshit, you know? And I'm like, that pisses me off. But whatever. And then she's just bitching and moaning and getting really pissed off. And then at the end, we need to talk. I'm not going to write you up for any of this shit. I said, we just need to talk about it, get it all cleared, and go over some stuff. And she says, no, we don't. And she just left the fucking store. And then she's only been there for like 3 weeks. She just took a fucking week break, which pissed me the fuck off. And is the dumbest shit ever. So before the break, she was like, hey, I want to leave earlier for my break. And me and the other manager go, ugh. So it was kind of like, god damn it, like that kind of fucking sucks, but whatever. And she's like, here, I'll tell you what, the manager makes a deal with her. She's like, if you help us move freight in the morning with inventory, or if you help us with inventory in the morning, we'll let you leave early. And she goes, oh, but that doesn't mean she's working a smaller shift, and she even specified, like, you're going to be here longer. She goes, you're just going to help us do that so you can leave earlier. She's like, you're going to work a shift. You're going to probably work at least 4 hours. And she was only thinking she'd have to work 1 or 2, which is why she got an attitude or, like, you know, just kind of got pissy. So, like, throughout the entire time, I had done, like, 5 times her work, and half the time she had done it, she couldn't even clear a section when we were doing inventory, and she was just bitching and moaning. And the boss in front of our district manager goes, I can't fucking stand your bullshit. And she says, go the fuck home. If you don't want to work, go the fuck home, in front of the district manager. And the district manager sees this shit and, like, doesn't even get mad. He's just like, I can fucking see it. So we got rid of one of the problem childs, which was the other one, which was the drug dealer. Now that one's kind of on her way out, and we've been hiring people. The problem is we're still hiring fucking felons and shit. And they're like, you're not supposed to discriminate against felons. And I'm like, yeah, but if we have someone who's not a felon and someone who is a felon wanting to work here, I think I'd choose the fucking non-felon. Because you don't ask why they're in fucking jail, and we don't do background checks. There could be some shady shit there. I don't want to risk it. And you said you don't want work drama, so don't bring in fucking felons. Like, it's simple as that. So she's like, I have these 3 people I want to hire. One of them is a lady in her maybe late 20s. She's a felon. She served jail time. And I'm just like, ah, shit. And, like, there's maybe it's a good thing because, like, she served so much jail time and had to do community service and rehab that, like, she's just eager to work and get the fuck out of her house. So I'm like, maybe with this one. And then the other 2 are a bunch of ancient old ladies. So I'm just sitting here like, why does this, like, why are we just ignoring the fact that these fuckers have really terrible histories and this could be a problem? So she goes, she looks at another person's application. She's like, they're in their 20s. I don't think I want to hire them. And I'm like, why the fuck don't you want to hire someone in their 20s? And I'm like, I'm in my 20s. So it's kind of pissing me off. And she goes, well, I just feel like people who are older have their shit together. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's not the case, especially not with the people who work here. Kind of pissed her off. Because I'm like, every fucking old person here has had a fucking issue, and our worst workers are the older ones. Because it doesn't matter if you're young or old, you can still have fucking problems. Age doesn't mean shit. And you're not supposed to discriminate against age, although only age 40 and above is protected from discrimination. You can legally discriminate against people who are younger than 40, which is bullshit, but whatever. I don't agree with it, personally. It's not my cup of tea. And I'm just like, we need to hire people, and I know beggars can't be choosers, so we need to hire people for mornings, and we need to hire people who will actually work their shit, but also ones that we don't have to worry about. Like, literally the drug dealer chick got shot at one day, so she couldn't come into work because her house got lit up by fucking bullets, because her and her brother are involved in fucking drugs. And my town's a fucking drug town, and it's a drug trafficking town, and it's also a kidnapping town. Like kids get kidnapped and shipped down to, like, Oklahoma City and shit. It's really bad. So I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with this shit. And I'm like, I worked at Love's. I worked fucking here. I'm tired of working with fucking druggies. Because you're like, oh, just because they're criminals or druggies doesn't mean shit. And I'm like, no, I've worked with criminals and fucking druggies. The only ones I can fucking stand are the ones that didn't do the hard shit, like people who went to jail for pie. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is on this, but... Ugh.
I mean,
I
I'm
just,
okay with giving felons a second chance, but I guess in a retail situation, if it's stole from
yeah.
like a store or something, then you should probably
And the lady
know.
she wants to hire apparently has a record at her old job for stealing out of the fucking register. And she's like, I'm going to hire her. I'm like, you don't want to call her old jobs? You don't want to do a little bit of a back check? Like, you're not even calling their old jobs. That's like something we should be fucking doing. You're not even doing that. And I'm like, you're not following through with the interviews. You're just, hey, you can work mornings. Good. That's it for me. And I'm like, we have three other people, and the only problem with one of them is you're like, she's young and she just got a boyfriend. I don't want to hire her. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, but, and I can kind of get it, but also at the same time, you kind of just can't, like, you're going to hire a criminal over someone who just got in a relationship? Because the felons that we're hiring right now aren't like, oh, hey, I had a minor drug charge. It was like, they were involved in some more serious shit. Like, yeah, so it was just like...
I mean, to be fair, minor drug charge in this day and age can actually become very massive for no fucking reason, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know, but I know that they weren't for drugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just... I mean, you've seen the shit I've had to deal with. Like, when I worked for Loves up in Hayes, it was hell just because my boss was a fucking druggie and, like, couldn't get her shit together, and, like, she was a fucking two-faced cunt, and I hated her. And, like, she hadn't got herself together or composed. The other guy I worked with, who was my favorite guy, the other manager, was an ex-druggie, did hard shit, and recovered. So I was like, oh, I'm fine with you. You're cool. But it's like... The next Loves I worked at, the fucking manager was a hardcore druggie who would get high while doing the schedule, for Christ's sake. Like, who wants that? And then she hired this lazy fat bitch, and she's like, she's the best worker I've ever had, and everyone hated her. And she basically lost the respect of, like, all of her employees within days, and then she was just treating them like shit. Like, I've just had to deal with too much shit for me to be able to, like... keep myself composed enough to deal with it, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I have so little patience for drug-based drama. I don't. Like, I don't consider weed a drug. If you have drug charges for fucking weed, I don't give a shit. But if it's hard shit, I'm gonna start fucking caring. If it could at any point affect the way you perceive things or the way you handle situations, I'm concerned as a manager because I need people at peak performance. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't want someone who can't keep themselves composed and has problems with like anger and anxiety working a cash register with customers that are not the most desirable. Like, our customers aren't great. We need someone who can handle assholes. But like, if you're hopped up and you're fucking loopy and you freak out at like the slightest tick, I don't want you running my cash register. Especially not if you have had issues of like money going missing in your cash register at previous jobs. Like, I don't know. And then like at Dollar Tree, fucking the other manager was a fucking hardcore druggie, and all that shit happened, and then she like fucking literally gave me death threats. So like, I am just not in the mood to deal with any of it, you know? And I know beggars can't be choosers in certain situations, but like, that doesn't mean we have to scrape the very bottom of the barrel. Like I said, I will take every pothead in the world because some of them motherfuckers are really good at working. But I just, any drug above that, I don't want people working for me that are on that shit. Like, I mean, literally, we had a worker who has seizures because she hops herself up on drugs and has seizures at work, which is the drug dealer chick. I don't want that shit to continue. I don't want that shit to keep happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for it. I just had to deal with too many shitty jobs and too many like retards on the job that I don't want to deal with anymore. And it's even worse because I'm manager, so it's like if you were just an employee working a shift, you would have to see those guys maybe once or twice a week and just be done with them. But I've got to see them constantly, especially when they get in trouble, and then I've got to deal with them at their worst.
Yeah, you gotta deal with them when they're shouting and screaming at you about their shit.
Yeah, and I'd rather deal with someone who can stay composed than someone who's hopped up on shit. I also don't want, like, when they deal with drugs, for them to, like, bring that shit to work and, like, put employees and customers into shitty situations that they would never normally want to be in. And, like, it's even worse, because if they don't handle themselves correctly and then something bad happens, that shit would fall on me. But since the other bitch is technically in charge of hiring them and I've been openly against hiring some of them, like, if anyone's going to take a hit, it's going to be her, you know? So, like, my ass is at least slightly covered. I can't fucking... My dodge sucks dick.
Yay, work drama.
Like, I know it sucks, because, like, back when you were at Hayes, your group of people was probably more composed and probably more comfortable to be around.
Oh yeah, those, I mean, they had their own shitty shit, but, like, they knew their job and none of them had a fucking ego about it. You know, like,
my thing is like, continue.
I was gonna say there wasn't a time where I was sitting there going like, everyone in here thinks that they are the fucking shit, and it's just like, even the managers in their own right were thinking that, like, I know what I'm doing, I'm the manager. It's like, you do know that I know the same shit you do. It's just like, you're not fucking... You're not like 1,000 fucking times better than me. It's just like, it's simple shit, and it's not that hard to know.
Yeah.
But whatever. What were you gonna say?
My problem is just like, I'm working with basically degenerates that, like, can't keep themselves composed, that, like, are probably the worst human beings you've ever fucking met. And still think they're better than me, and it drives me fucking insane. And then they're like, you're against us because we have fucking criminal charges and shit. And I'm like, well, what are your criminal charges? They'll tell me, and I'm like, well, I wasn't against you for having criminal charges, but, like, you can't keep yourself composed at work. And when you told me what your criminal charge was, I'm like, that was fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but if you want my fucking, like, I don't know what it is about, like, whenever you're a manager and everyone's like, oh, I want to be buddies with a manager. It's like, yeah, that's not going to fly with me. Especially when I don't agree with your lifestyle and think you might be the scummiest human being I've ever met. Like, one of them was telling me the other day how she lost custody of her kid. You know, I was telling you that the other night, where it's the older lady who, like, hangs around with druggies and basically lost her kid because she was in a vicinity where a drug deal was going down and children were involved, and the court was like, we're never going to let you see your fucking kid. You beat that shit up. And then she's like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, you kind of deserved it, dumbass. And I didn't hold back any punches. I was like, look, I don't want to talk about family drama or stupid shit at work. I just want to work. But if you're going to tell me this, don't expect me to not put in my input, because I don't agree with any of the decisions any of you have made. Because so far, the best of all of you is the dude with drug charges, and it's only because he had a little bit of pot. And that one I can live with. The rest of you are borderline insane, and I can't fucking stand you. Not to mention, like, half of them were involved in, like, shit where, like, whenever that crazy manager who sent me death threats lost her mind, she had apparently been talking shit, and the other employees had been talking shit on me to her. So she was trying to leak it, and when they all found out, they're like, oh, I didn't have anything against you. And I'm like, I never said you did. And I'm like, so you're talking shit, huh? It's just annoying. Out of all the people I've ever worked with, the most judgmental fucks are the people who have no right to judge, and it drives me insane.
That's just life, my guy.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm gonna shut my door real fast. You wanna know something really funny? You know how, like, my grandma had her heart attack and shit, and, like, she was gone for 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
She was in charge of cleaning the church. And when she got back, she was asked to clean the church and continue that. And she's like, sure, I'll do that. In the 2 months that she was gone, they didn't get someone else to clean the church or even try to do it themselves. And that church doesn't have a preacher, it's a bunch of volunteers, so there's a big group of people that could have done it. And then they left her the dirtiest fucking church to deal with by herself. And, like, she's still, like, kind of slightly crippled and shit. And she goes, I can't believe they would have done this with me. And I'm like, let's see. I'm just listing off fuck things. I was like, they don't give a shit. And then she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, most of the people who go to your church just go there so they can get a clean slate refresh. And she's like, that's not true. I'm like, almost everyone that goes to that specific church is a bunch of rich assholes who are only friends with her because she cuts their hair. And that's about it. So, like, there's a bunch of bullshit and drama, and they've, like, pulled some fuck shit on my grandma. And then they just, like, left her all that shit, and that really pissed me off. And I was like, the lady had a heart attack and can't move one of her arms, and they left her a church that would have taken her days to do if I hadn't helped her. That's super fucked. Other than that, how are things at your new place, Josiah, with your family and such?
Fine for the most part. It's small, but whatever. Smaller than the other place. It's smaller than the other place. It's like basically a 2-3 bedroom house, but they're looking for more places, so that way it's like their one giant house cost them so much money, So if you cut it down to 2 smaller houses, you're actually saving money somehow. And just taxes and shit, so... Yeah.
This wizard game is fun, Josiah.
Oh,
I
yeah?
do want to get on Minecraft here in a bit.
Uh-huh.
Got that Minecraft fever. I tried looking up guides on how to do shit on Minecraft. I immediately regretted it because it's a bunch of like 12-year-olds trying to tell you to do shit, and half the stuff they said was wrong, and I'm like, motherfuckers. And I was like, oh, this guy's an adult. He's a reasonable person. He'll know what he's talking about. Nope. Just went, fuck this.
It's better to just get them like on like the wiki or something, I think.
Yeah, I can see that now. God, why is this shit so hard? I haven't killed any of the bosses. Game is hard as shit. No wonder it's fucking co-op. God damn it. I didn't know how to use that ability and I killed myself with it.
Nice job.
I'm retarded.
Retarded.
Summon a trio of seekers that home in and freeze nearby enemies.
So did you find out what Sean meant in Ghost Recon Wildlands when he said you have to beat the game twice to get the actual ending?
So you have to beat the game 100 and clear the regions out, and take out every leader, and then you beat the game and you get the base ending. And then once you beat the game, it's like there's a ending for 100% that you've just now unlocked. So if you had that already, play it again. And once you do that, there's a different ending, because the ending you get isn't like a bad ending for doing all that, but it's not super great either.
Okay, because I'm just about to do the last El Sueño mission. So I was just wondering what that meant.
Try out these new moves. God damn it, the one zone I didn't want to be in. What the fuck? I went forward to the side. Also, I'm thinking of getting a 4K TV because I have this old ass TV. So after my truck gets fixed and I see what I make from this next paycheck, I might buy like a 50-inch 4K for like only like 200 something. Only like around $200. I guess Walmart's trying to get rid of them or whatever.
Nice.
And I checked them and like the stats are good. God damn it. What, he lived?
Takatari turned on ya.
Yep. That mission sucks dick, by the way. especially if you're in tier 1 difficulty.
I like that I accidentally died because my car got shot to fucking shit. And I couldn't get away quick enough before it exploded. Well, in the middle of a conversation, Pakatari died, got back up, and he just went, "Hey, Pak, sorry about the interruption." And then went right back into him shouting at us to leave his country.
I'm so confused. I thought I could make spells, but I haven't had the option to do so yet.
You know, and back to my work stuff. The good thing about the whole thing is that the GM knows, like, works with me quite a bit and knows that, like, I'm a decent worker and am not there to start shit.
Yeah, well, you and me are both in the sense of, like, we don't like drama, but if someone pisses me off, the difference between me and you is of the filter where I think how the fuck this is gonna turn out that I have is very much different from what you have. I get mad and sometimes I say shit I don't mean. And I think you can keep yourself composed way better than I can. But no, my district manager, I don't know if I said this already. Did I say that my district manager called me today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I told you the other day about that fat guy who like tried to get me kicked out of, tried to get me to lose my job and tried to get me kicked out of the gas station. Well, I had to give him the district manager's phone number. The district manager's like, okay, so tell me this incident, just because like he's a dumb. Okay, our district manager, I like him. He's a cool dude, but like, and he handles a bunch of districts, which is fine, but in him handling so many districts, he can barely perform the functionality of one district needed. So like, it takes him forever to respond or get something done, and it's annoying. But the system's fucked, so it's how it works, and he has to deal with it, and we have to deal with it, so it's all cool. So we had sent him text messages letting him know about the incident that had happened, and the dude, and like him attacking our cashiers and all that shit. He calls me today. He's like, "So what's the incident?" Because this guy's been asking why he's kicked. And he's like, and he's been blowing up my phone. And I go, well, apparently this is the second time he's been kicked, because Rhonda kicked him and had him marked as a no-hire, which he is known about. And a no-hire means that, like, you could never hire them back because there was an incident or drama involved. And they can be banned from the store for becoming no-hires. So, like, to just prevent future risks. So I go, well, it turns out he had attacked my cashiers, and I was telling him the situation of how it happened. Like, he got pissed off, and there were a bunch of Mexicans in line, and he started cussing them out, saying racist shit, and then he's like, you should be serving me first, not them. So already a huge piece of shit. And then he freaked the fuck out and attacked and basically threw his shit at one of my cashiers, scared the fuck out of the other one. So he was barred from the store. Well, I let him know he's barred. He doesn't fucking listen to me. And he's like, well, fuck you, you can't bar me from your store, all that shit. And I gave him the whole like gist of that entire story. And then I'm like, I'm sorry to find out that he's kind of a nutsoid because the cops weren't okay with him, so much so that they had to call in backup because they thought he was a nutcase. And he's like, so you gave a crazy person my number? Like, jokingly, of course, he said that. And I'm like, well, yeah, sorry. It was he asked for your number, and that's company policy. That's what we're supposed to do. And like, I felt like I shouldn't have. But then when I found out he was actually like a Fruit Loop, and after he kept calling me Senior Hunter, I knew that something was fucking wrong with him. Because, like, we were both talking in English, and the dude just kept referring to me as Senior Hunter, and I went, I'm like, why are you calling me Senior? He's like, well, it's what you are. But he wasn't talking about, like, it is me being a man. He was talking about it, like, in a racy way. It was uncomfortable. He was being a racist prick, and the previous incident he got in trouble for was him being a racist prick. So, like, I didn't feel comfortable with him calling me that, because that was not the tone of voice or the whole, like, when you go up to someone and you talk to them in Spanish, you're like, Senor Martinez or Senor Hunter. He was like, well, I don't like you, Senor Hunter. And we were both talking in English, and I'm like, why did you switch to Spanish all of a sudden, and why are you now only referring to me as Senor Hunter instead of just calling me Hunter? Like, what changed in this conversation for you to do that? I'm confused. So I told him, like, he was a Fruit Loop and the cops were all that shit, and he went, okay, I just needed to know. So I was just like, god damn it. So that happened today, and I had to let him know. So that guy has been trying to get me fired all day, apparently.
How has he been trying
he's
to
been
do
like,
that, though? I'm just curious.
He's been telling him that I was rude to him and stuff, and I was like, well, I kept myself composed the entire time. Like, the cops were more threatened by him than I was. And I just, like, kept my cool. But the cops didn't want to risk it, and they took him outside. But apparently what he had been doing was he'd been telling him that I was being unprofessional and I was being mean to him. I wasn't. I think he's a nut job, but I didn't just refer to him as a kook or anything like that. Like, I didn't go out of my way to treat him like a nut job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I treated it as if I would treat any other situation. And So he's like trying to lie and say that like I was an asshole, I was mean to him, and I'm kicking him out for reasons he still doesn't understand. He knows he's been kicked from the store twice. He knows the reasons. He's just trying to like lie about the story to my district manager. And I told him like, yeah, this is the second time. He's even described the incidents, and he's like, why am I kicked out this time? And the moment I went, I don't know the exact incident, and then he immediately goes, I bet I know what it is. And I'm like, so then why are you surprised? I'm like, he was a Fruit Loop. So he's like trying to get me fired, and he's been like whining and bitching. He's like, please let me come back to the Dollar Tree. Because he's this fat dude who doesn't work worth a shit. He looks like he touches kids. He's just got that look. Like with the shaved face, or with like the losing hair and like creepy stereotype type thing. That's basically what he looks like.
He looks very neckbeardy.
He looks exactly like a neckbeard. He acts like a neckbeard. Like so much so to the point where I was trying to refrain from laughter because I kept thinking of the neckbeard memes you sent me. Like, he felt like he was entitled, he felt like he was superior to everyone else, and I'm like, I'm so close to calling this motherfucker a neckbeard. Like, legitimately I was. Because I was just like, this isn't real, like, there's one of them here. They're invading. Jesus. Fucking damn it. So, yeah, so he's just been bitching and moaning because he doesn't have any money and he can't afford Walmart. So I honestly think the motherfucker's probably going to starve to death. All joking aside, because I don't think he goes anywhere else. Or at least he doesn't budget himself that. Because, like, I know he works, like, minimal hours at the gas station. So, like, the one store he couldn't afford to lose spending shit at, he literally burned every bridge he could. And I just thought that was the funniest fucking thing. And I was like, you generally asked for it, asshole. You know? Now I'm like, I don't even feel bad because he was just a piece of shit. So I told the district manager, I'm like, yeah, he's fucking nut job. I don't know what to say or do. And I'm like, I even gave him the option. I told him, I'm like, if all of this is fake like you say it is, and it didn't happen, I'm gonna go back through the records, get employee statements, and like I'll even let you come back once we get it cleared, and I can get into contact with you. Would that be okay? He ignored me, and then just started cussing me out. And I went, well, no, I'm definitely not gonna try that. Like, I was trying to, like, because I was like, there's a possibility that maybe it was over-exaggerated. And I'm like, now, no, it wasn't over-exaggerated. This dude's a fucking Fruit Loop. So. That is what's happened. So he's been like literally legitimately calling and leaving voicemails of him crying like, I want to come back to the store. And then he's like, I don't know why I'm not allowed to be there. He's like trying to paint himself out to be a victim. And I just think it's funnier than shit. He was racist and cussed out customers. He was kind of slightly just off-putting with me. And that whole Senior Hunter shit was really driving me insane. Then he just couldn't keep himself composed, and he generally scared the shit out of a police officer. Like, all the ways that man could have fucked up, he pretty much did. How many crazy people do you deal with daily?
Not many. For like actual customers and shit.
You don't actually have to deal with too many?
No, not really. More idiots.
Envy you. Idiots? What's like the most memorable idiotic thing that a customer's done?
Oh, just people telling us how to, like, that certain sandwiches aren't that way.
Wait, what?
There's people telling me that I don't know how to do my job, basically.
Jesus. Fuck you, dude. God. I can barely get to the first boss, let alone beat him. This game is hard as fuck. What's the green mushroom do? Oh. I've never fought this guy. This could end poorly. What in the shit? Jesus. God, these bosses are brutal. God. This shit's difficult. Oh no, god damn it. My base attack is water and I'm in a water area to start off with. Fuck me. This game has just been breaking my dick.
Doing this mission the second time.
Oh, you're going around it the second time?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the full ending, so...
Let me know if it's...
fuck. I kind of want to do it. Do you have any of the add-ons for that game?
Yeah,
Or do you
I have
just
like the
base?
gold edition.
Okay, so you do have Narco Road and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, I'll hop on that here in a sec. I'm gonna try to do one more run with this shit, so... Yeah. Let me know what's different with the ending, because I think I still need to do the 100% ending, because I never got it.
You're missing probably literally one thing, and that the one thing I was missing was fucking the second Ricky Sandoval mission, and that was it.
Yeah, he gives it to you when you start the end. The game gives it to you when you start that mission, so that way you don't get the 100% ending off the bat. That attack is so broken. Oh my god, you can wear a horse head. What's the matter? You go potty? Is that what it is? Okay, well, give me a sec. We'll go potty in there. After I die, we'll take you to the bathroom and then we'll play Ghost Recon. God damn it. Buy all the spells I can here in a sec and I'll let you go potty. Yes, I know. Message from Xbox Live. Oh, it's a fucking new god on Smite or whatever. It's like, play Smite!
That's what? Let's play Smite.
Yeah, it's like, we just got a new god on Smite. You should play it. Hmm. So what'd you think of the first ending of Ghost Recon? It's kind of fucked, right?
Yeah, I can get why it's a meh ending.
I'm curious as what to happen in the second ending, but I am done with this now. So I am going to let my dog out, and then I will continue playing. I was supposed to get my truck out of the shop today, but I don't think they ever got around to getting to my truck today. Shame. Alright,